Now let's learn Motif 4. It includes acorns and the base piece. The acorn consists of a top piece and a bottom piece. First, work back and forth for the top piece. Then work back and forth for the bottom piece, and join it with the top piece. Next, crochet in rounds to connect the base piece with the acorn. The new stitch technique used here is HDC 3-in-1. Please watch the demonstration. Now we start crocheting the top piece. Foundation chain 1 stitch. Make 2 chain stitches. Count back 3 stitches. Pick up the inside loop of the 3rd stitch. Crochet 1 HDC 2-in-1. Everyone, follow the chart to complete it. Finally, crochet 1 chain stitch to secure. Leave a 5 cm yarn tail, and cut the yarn. Hide the yarn tail on the wrong side. The side with the stitch pattern on the last row is the right side. That concludes the top piece. Move on to the bottom piece. Follow the chart for crocheting. Continue until you reach the last row. Pay attention to the 3rd row has 1 HDC 3-in-1. You need to crochet 3 HDC stitches into the same stitch. Now, start the last row. Turn your work. Bring the yarn forward. Begin connecting. Place the bottom piece on top. Place the top piece below. Connect by looking at the wrong side of the top piece. Pick up the stitches from the bottom piece. At the same time, pick up the 2 strands of the starting chain from the top piece. Work 1 slip stitch. Next, pick up the stitches from both the bottom and top pieces. Connect each stitch with a slip stitch. Finish with the last slip stitch. No need to crochet a chain stitch. Leave a 5 cm yarn tail before breaking the yarn. Simply pull the yarn through. The side with the slip stitch chains is the right side. Hide the yarn tail on the wrong side. Up to this point, the acorn is now complete. Next, we will start crocheting the base piece. Pay attention to the connection between the base piece and the acorn. The chart has specific position markings. Follow the method you have learned. Just connect the corresponding positions with the same numbers. For the final round, you need to join it with Motif 1 and Motif 2. Watch me demonstrate with a sample piece. After finishing the first side, move to the corner with 3 chain stitches. 1 chain stitch. Place the yarn in front of the hook. Pick up the 2 strands below the joining point. Work 1 slip stitch. Crochet according to the chart until the next corner with 3 chain stitches. When you reach the corner with 3 chain stitches, work 1 chain stitch. Place the yarn in front of the hook. Pick up the gap between 2 double crochets, which is the joining position between motif 1 and motif 2. Work 1 slip stitch. Then make 1 chain stitch. Everyone, follow the chart to finish the remaining part. And at the end, crochet 1 chain stitch to secure. Leave a 5 cm yarn tail before cutting the yarn. Hide the yarn tail on the wrong side. That concludes the explanation of the base piece. At the same time, we've finished motif 4. Next, let's learn how to make motif 5. Start with a chain stitch, and join it with a slip stitch to form a ring. Crochet in rounds. The quantity and color scheme should be followed according to the chart. In the final round, connect it with the other motifs. Everyone, based on the methods you've learned, complete it. Let me explain here. For motif 5, at the position where 4 motifs connect, it connects in the same way as motif 4. Pick up these 2 strands of yarn, under the same joining point to connect. Up to this point, we've finished explaining motif 5. Next, let's learn how to crochet the edging. It is crocheted around the connected motifs. Crochet in rounds counterclockwise. You can start from any corner. For specific color schemes, refer to the chart. The new stitches used include TR6 popcorn, DC5 bobble, and CH4SL picket. Please watch as I demonstrate with a sample piece. Now let's start with round 1. Begin with a slip knot. Insert the hook into the corner chain, and pull through a loop. Work 1 chain. In the same space, work 1 single crochet, 2 chains. At the 4 corners of round 1, you need to work 2 chains for each corner. In the same space, work 1 single crochet. Next, work 3 double crochet stitches for the leaf motif. Work 3 single crochets. Work 1 single crochet in the hole. Repeat working 3 single crochets for the leaf, and 1 single crochet in the hole. At the connection, work 2 motifs at the corner. Work 1 single crochet each. For the 2 double crochet stitches at the center of motif 1, work 2 single crochets. Move to the corner. Work 1 single crochet in the hole. Work 2 chains. Work 1 single crochet. Follow the pattern chart until the end. Slip stitch into the first single crochet stitch. Secure with a chain. Leave a 5 cm yarn tail before cutting the yarn. Hide the yarn tail on the wrong side. The first round is complete. Move on to crochet the second round. Start with a slip knot. Pull the slip knot through the corner hole. Make 2 chain stitches. Work 2 chains. Work 2 half double crochets in the hole. Correspondingly make 4 half double crochets. You can crochet around the yarn tail to secure it. Move on to the CH4SL picket. 4 chains. Pick up the front loop of the half double crochet and the lower thread. A total of 2 threads. Pull through with a slip stitch. Complete 1 CH4SL picket. Work 12 half double crochets forward. This side is just repeating the pattern. 1 CH4SL picket and 12 HDC. One CH4SL picket. Approach the corner, pick up the hole and work 2 half double crochets. Two chains. 2 half double crochets. Work 4 half double crochets forward. Start repeating the pattern again. 1 CH4SL picket and 12 HDC. At the corner, work 1 half double crochet into the hole. Slip stitch into the second chain of the beginning chain. Complete the corner. The second round is complete. Move on to the third round. Work 1 chain in the hole. One single crochet. 2 chains, 1 single crochet, work 6 single crochets stitch by stitch. Slip stitch into the chain circle of the picket stitch. Nine chains, slip stitch into the chain circle. Finish the chain. You need to slip stitch into every chain circle. 13 chains. Slip stitch 1. 15 chains. Slip stitch 1. 13 chains. Slip stitch 1. 9 chains. Slip stitch 1. All the chains and slip stitches make up one small grass motif. The grass has 5 leaves. Next, work 12 single crochets correspondingly. This edge is repeating one small grass motif and 12 single crochets. Coming to the corner, 1 single crochet, 2 chains, 1 single crochet. Start repeating the first edge again. Slip stitch into the first single crochet stitch. Chain 1 to secure. Leave a 5 cm yarn tail. Hide the yarn tail on the wrong side. That concludes the 3rd round. Move on to the 4th round. Start with a slip knit and pull it through the corner hole. Work 3 chains. Crochet 2 chains. Crochet 1 double crochet into the hole. Continue to work double crochets one by one as you move forward. Reach the first little grass motif. Place the grass motif in front. Work the stitches on the left and right sides normally. Keep working double crochets one by one until the next grass motif. Pay attention here. Do not work the stitch on the right side of the second grass motif. Skip one stitch. Work 23 double crochets moving forward. Repeat the pattern of skipping one stitch and crocheting 23 double crochets along this edge. Skip one stitch after every one grass motif. The places where you need to skip stitches are marked with red circles on the chart. Reach the corner. Crochet one double crochet into the hole. Work 2 chain stitches. Crochet 1 double crochet. Start repeating the pattern for the first edge again. Join with a slip stitch in the third chain of the beginning chain. Up to this point, the fourth round is completed. Move on to the fifth round. Work 1 slip stitch into the hole. Start with 3 chain stitches. Work 2 chain stitches. Crochet 2 double crochets into the hole. Continue forward with 4 double crochets. Reach the double crochet marked with the red line. Begin connecting. Yarn over. Look at the chain stitch braid. Pick up the first leaf of the grass motif, the half loop on the back of the top chain stitch, and the 2 strands inside. At the same time, pick up the next stitch. Work 1 double crochet. Continue forward with 7 double crochets. Reach the double crochet marked with the red line. Connect the 5th leaf of the grass motif in the same way. Each leaf connects to a double crochet. All double crochets are marked with a red line. Yarn over. Look at the front of the chain stitch braid. Pick up the fifth leaf of the grass motif. The half loop on the back of the top chain stitch, and the 2 strands inside. At the same time, pick up the next stitch. Work 1 double crochet. Let me explain here. Between the 2 connection points inside this circle of grass motifs, there are 7 double crochets apart. Between the grass motifs, the connection points are separated by 2 stitches. Interval of 3 double crochets once. Repeat the sequence. Move to the corner. Work 2 double crochets in the corner space. Two chain stitches. 2 double crochets. Begin repeating the stitch pattern from the first side again. Work 1 double crochet in the corner space. Slip stitch in the 3rd chain of the beginning chain. The 5th round is completed. Move on to crochet rounds 6 through 10. Round 6 is worked as 1 stitch per stitch in double crochets. At the corners, work 2 double crochets, 2 chain stitches, and 2 double crochets. Pay attention, in rounds 7 and 8, you need to connect to the leaves of the grass motifs. Let's take a look at the connection position for round 7. The first connection point of 1 grass motif. This is 1 stitch before the connection point on the right side. The second connection point is 5 stitches apart from the first connection point. For the connection points between the grass motifs, it's an interval of 4 stitches once. It's an interval of 5 stitches once. Repeat the sequence. For the connection points in round 8, they are on the center stitch between the 2 connection points of round 7. In round 9, work half double crochets evenly into each stitch. At the corners, work 2 half double crochets, 2 chain stitches, and 2 half double crochets. At the end, fasten off the yarn. In round 10, reattach the yarn and continue crocheting. Work half double crochets into each stitch. At the corners, work 1 half double crochet, 2 chain stitches, and 1 half double crochet. Up to this point, rounds 6 through 10 are completed. Move on to round 11. Slip stitch into the chain space. Make 3 chain stitches. Work 2 chains. Work 2 double crochets into the chain space. Work 1 double crochet forward. Work 1 chain stitch. Skip 1 stitch. Work 6 double crochets forward. Repeat along this edge. Skip 1 stitch. Work 6 double crochets. For the corner, work 2 DC, 2 chains, and 2 DC. Everyone follow the chart to complete it. Up to this point, round 11 is completed. Below, start working on round 12. Use 2 colors of yarn and alternate while crocheting. Slip stitch into the chain space. Make 3 chain stitches. Work 2 chains. Work 2 double crochets into the chain space. Work 2 double crochets forward. For the next double crochet, you need to switch colors. Work an incomplete double crochet. Hold the yarn with your left hand. Yarn over and pull through. Complete the color change. We'll call the new yarn color 2. The old yarn is called color 1. Next is a TR6 popcorn. Use color 2 to pick up the skipped stitches, and work 6 treble crochets. Do not wrap the yarn around the chain. Loosen the loop. Insert the hook into the first treble crochet stitch. Pull the loop through. Release color 2 with your left hand. Pick up color 1. Work a chain stitch. Complete the TR6 popcorn. Note that the popcorn stitch should be raised on the right side. Continue to work 6 double crochets forward. Tuck color 2 under the stitches at the bottom. Carry it along as you crochet forward. Switch colors on the last double crochet. Stretch color 2 a bit to prevent it from getting tangled in the fabric. Keep the fabric flat. Work 6 treble crochets into the open stitch. Do not wrap the yarn around the chain. Loosen the loop. Insert into the first treble crochet stitch. Pull through the loop. Let go of color 2 with your left hand. Pick up color 1. Crochet 1 chain. Complete the TR6 popcorn. Repeat the pattern of TR6 popcorn stitch in this round. For the corner, work 2 double crochets, 2 chains, and 2 double crochets. Continue following the sequence until the end. Carry color 2 to the end. Join with a slip stitch in the third chain of the turning chain. Secure with 1 chain stitch. Leave a 5 cm yarn tail, and cut the yarn. Do the same for color 2, leaving a 5 cm yarn tail, and cutting the yarn. Hide the yarn tails on the wrong side. Round 12 is now complete. Move on to rounds 13 through 22. Let me explain here. In round 13, at the popcorn stitch position, you need to pick up this stitch and continue crocheting. In round 14, you need to switch colors and crochet a CH4SL picket. In round 15, you will crochet grass motifs. In certain positions of round 16, you need to skip stitches. The skip positions are marked with red ellipses. For the first chain of the turning chain in round 17, it needs to be connected to the leaf of the grass motif. Watch me demonstrate with a sample swatch. Slip stitch into the chain space. Slightly enlarge the loop. Connect the first chain of the turning chain to the grass motif. Pick up this grass stitch. Insert the hook into the front loop, and half loop at the top of the left petal's chain. Yarn over and pull through. Complete the connection. Everyone can follow the method you've learned. Refer to the pattern chart and color scheme, and finish all these rounds. Up to this point, rounds 13 to 22 have been completed. Move on to round 23. Start with a slip knot. Insert the hook into the corner space, and pull out a slip knot. Make 3 chains. Work 6 chains. Skip 4 double crochets. Slip stitch 1 stitch without tightening. 6 chains. Skip 5 stitches. Slip stitch 1 stitch. Repeat the pattern of 1 slip stitch and 6 chains for this round. Space 5 stitches between each slip stitch. Reach the corner. 6 chains. Skip 4 double crochets. Pick up the corner space and work 1 double crochet. 6 chains. Start repeating the pattern of 1 slip stitch and 6 chains again. Six chains. Slip stitch into the third chain of the beginning chain. Round 23 is completed. Move on to round 24. Work 1 chain. Slip stitch into the slip stitch position from the previous round. Work 7 single crochets into the space. Slip stitch into the braid. Repeat the pattern of 7 single crochets for this round. 1 slip stitch. Reach the corner. Work 7 single crochets into the space. Slip stitch into the double crochet stitch. Work 7 single crochets into the space. Everyone follow the chart to complete this round. Finally, slip stitch into the braid. Secure with 1 chain. Cut the yarn and weave in the ends. Round 24 is completed. Begin round 25 below. Start with a slip knot. Pull the slip knot through the slip stitch braid. Make 1 chain. Work 1 single crochet into the slip stitch braid. Chain 4. Skip 3 stitches. Slip stitch 1 stitch. Chain 3. Correspondingly work a DC5 bobble in the position of the slip stitch. Pick up the same slip stitch braid. Work 5 incomplete double crochets. Yarn over and pull through all loops. Let it pop out on the right side. Complete a DC5 bobble stitch. Chain 3. Skip 3 stitches, slip stitch 1 stitch. From these 3 chains to this slip stitch makes 1 motif. Repeat this motif around for this round. Move to the corner. Chain 4. Skip 3 stitches, slip stitch into the corresponding single crochet on the braid. Chain 4. Skip 3 stitches. Slip stitch 1 stitch. At the corner, both sides are chain 4. Follow the sequence until the end. Chain 4. Skip 3 stitches. Slip stitch in the first single crochet. Round 25 is completed. Move on to round 26. Work 1 chain. Single crochet 1 stitch into the single crochet stitch. Work 4 single crochets into the chain space. Slip stitch 1 stitch on the braid. Work 3 single crochets into the chain space. Single crochet 1 stitch into the bobble stitch. Work 3 single crochets into the chain space. Slip stitch 1 stitch on the braid. For this round, work 3 single crochets into the holes on both sides of the bobble stitch. Single crochet 1 stitch into the bobble stitch. Slip stitch 1 stitch on the braid. Reach the corner. Work 4 single crochets into the hole. Single crochet 1 stitch into the single crochet stitch. Work 4 single crochets into the hole. Everyone follows the pattern chart to crochet until the end. Let's take a look at the finishing touch at the end. After completing the last single crochet, leave a 10 cm yarn tail, and cut the yarn. Pull through the yarn tail. Thread it onto a yarn needle. Insert the needle into the second single crochet stitch from the front to back. and bring it back to the original position. Take the yarn to the wrong side and hide the end. Let's look at the right side. The stitches are aligned smoothly. Round 26 is now completed. That concludes the explanation of crocheting the edging. The entire Afghan making process has also been covered. If you have any questions during the process, don't hesitate to reach us via our website. Susan's Family, supporting your handwork experience, sharing the joy of life. Thank you all for watching. We'll see you in the next episode.